How are you?
I'm fine. You hear me good?
Perfect.
Nice.
Are you excited? This is today is the day, right?
D-Day. Yeah, of course. This is actually the moment you work so hard for. It's we started this the idea for a second album. We actually started it last year, February.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we all have busy agendas with our other bands and work and houses, so you can't work on an album, constantly. So it took us in total 1.5 year,
Mm-hmm.
working on it in phases, and yeah, and then now today is D-Day, the official release day, and of course it's not that I'm really celebrating it, but it's like okay, it's like all your hard work is paying off now because people ordered it. I see on social media the people getting their stuff and sharing it online, so that makes me happy.
So when was the album ready to be released? Because I know sometimes the record labels kind of delay the release. So when did you have it ready to go?
Oh well, we we actually finished the last video shoot 3 weeks ago, so we were late. The label did
Oh,
not wait. There,
honestly, that's old
yeah,
school. I mean, the
yeah.
bands have to be late. Come on.
We we kind of missed a deadline already, so this was the second, and so it gave especially me a lot because I'm arranging everything as the main person, doing all the artwork and everything. It gave me some real stress the last few months that I was thinking, oh man, I'm starting to hate this album. Some points it was not fun anymore, but now everything is done, the work is done. The label is happy, we are happy, everybody seems happy with the end result, and yeah, that's the reward we have now. Now today the release date is there. The only things I still do now is of course promoting the album by doing interviews,
Correct.
and that's the last phase for me at this stage. And the one thing we can do is try to play some live shows next year.
Oh, that will be great.
Yeah.
Before talking about the live dates, because you mentioned about how it was a long process and you had some delays, were there any differences between the first album and this one? I mean, did you try new stuff? There are some more melodies, I have to say, in this album, right? But it's still death metal.
Yes, yes, and yes, and yes. No, it's we did not try to do it different this time. Even the long period of recording was the same. I was hoping on this album it will go a little bit more smoother, but even that was the same. But if you look at songwriting, it's I just sit here and I I just write what comes in mind, and I don't think I write different than on the first album, but maybe in consciousness you improve yourself somehow. I don't know. Maybe I developed myself a little bit during the last 3, 4, 5 years, because in general I think the album is a little bit faster.
Oh yeah. I'm not.
Than,
I'm not saying. I'm not saying melodic, meaning that is softer. I'm saying that there is more. How can I put it? More depth. So my question was more like the band is working on a second album. Maybe you start getting to know each other in a more deeper way, and now you can work better, more efficient. I don't know. It's
no,
not like you got better in guitar. I mean, come on.
we did the same formula as the first album. Thomas and I, we are the songwriters, and I wrote for the Neil album. I wrote 6 songs, and Thomas wrote 5. And but with writing songs, I really write the whole song myself.
Okay.
Every guitar part, every bass part. I even programmed the drums. completely, so that the tempos have been set as well. You know, I just say, I write that to the, I send that to the guys, and I say, okay, here, this is the song.
Okay.
And Thomas does the same. You know, he has kind of computer drums at home. He writes his parts, and yeah, and even the bass parts I write in my songs. So it's if you listen, for example, Chaos Will Rain, the song. That's everything in a song is from me. Of course, you know, when James goes to the studio to record his drum parts, of course he will do his own drums, but the rhythms are set. That's what I mean. But he does his own fills and stuff. It's not that he completely copies my programmed drums. But
I was asking more about the fact that not every band member is on the same country. Okay, you and Thomas, you are very close, right? But the rest of the guys are...
Me and Thomas are far. I'm the only guy in the Netherlands, and Thomas lives in Sweden. Frederick lives in Sweden. Well, Johnny lived in England, but he moved back to Sweden. And James,
well, you are at the center, right?
Yeah, I'm sort of in the middle. James lives in Poland nowadays, but he's from the UK, from the United Kingdom. No, but I do agree that somehow, and I don't know how that happened, that we made a step forward as well in the songwriting, but also on a new record. I think the production has a lot influence on the experience of listening. The mix and the sound, it's completely different. You know, we went to another studio, Jonas Kjellgren from Black Lounge, and of course he's an experienced producer, engineer. So he knew very good which sound we needed, and I think the combination that maybe our little improved music writing in combination with the production makes this album a bit more melodic, faster. In general, I think we made a huge step forward.
Yes. Was there a specific reason why you chose Jonas for the production?
Not really. Yeah, the one specific reason was that Thomas and Jonas know each other very good, because Jonas is, he shares the same room as Tectron Studio, so they're sitting next to each other. You know, from Hypocrisy, Peter Tectron, and of course Thomas, because he plays in Hypocrisy, he knows Jonas as well. But I think he knew Jonas even before he was in Hypocrisy, and. Yeah, and he already said with the first album, hey, we should ask him. But of course, you know, if you don't have that much of a budget, it's you have to. I don't want to say be happy with less, because I think still the first album, our friend did a really good job. But you also notice that you know, if you go to Jonas, a real professional studio, that it's a complete different world in sound. It's
makes sense.
But it was Thomas who kind of because I still thought, hey, it's too expensive. You know, it's I would love to, but hey, you know, it has to be paid. You know, it's. But now, you know, with the end result, I'm very happy that Thomas convinced me to, hey, let's go to Jonas, and very happy with it, because besides his experience and the mix and master he came with, he's also a really nice guy to work with.
Did you have the album ready when you went to the studio, or did you make changes while recording the album?
No, actually, the album was ready before we went to the studio, but still, we went to the studio in Sweden. I recorded everything in the Netherlands. James recorded his drums in Poland. Thomas recorded his songs in Sweden. Johnny, the vocalist, he has his own little studio. He recorded his vocals at his home, and all those files we have sent to Jonas. And then he started mixing. So we never really entered. Yeah, of course we entered the studio, but not together as a band.
I see what you're saying. When did Johnny start? Did Johnny write the lyrics for the album?
Yes. But besides Chaos Will Rain, I wrote it together with Johnny.
Okay, so
Because I was looking at the album cover and I had an idea in mind, so I started writing too. But besides that, Johnny has written all lyrics. Yes.
so the lyrics were written after the music has been written.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was trying to see what was, the inspiration. What did you have in mind when you were listening to the music and writing the lyrics?
Well, I was, let's say, I don't know about Johnny, what he thinks, because it goes like this, I make those demo songs at home, I finish the whole song, and when my song is ready, I send it to Johnny, and then Johnny comes up with a title and with the lyrics, and then he sings it at his house, and he sends the song back to me with his vocals, and then of course, when I write a song, I already have ideas. Hey, that's a part where you should sing. That's a part where you should not sing.
Right.
So
right.
then, the last part I do together with Johnny. To finish up the fine tuning.
And at what stage did you contact? I think its name is Andy, right? Christian Eyes for the cover artwork. He did the first one, right?
Yeah, he did the first one as well, and. I've been thinking a long time about the album title I wanted to have, and I was thinking, well, okay, on the first album, he's kind of creating an army of only the strong ones, and the weak ones will be obliterated. So, and then Thomas told me, hey, maybe for the second album, we should use the same Berserker character again, like make a real sequel. Excuse me. And then I said, well, okay, that's a good idea. And then I was thinking, okay, that Berserker character, he has his army. What will he do with that army? He will, of course, conquer the world. But of course, a Berserker will not come in peace. He will reign, but with that reign, there will be a lot of chaos and devastation and stuff. So, and then I suddenly thought, okay, Chaos Will Reign will be a good title. And then I contacted Adi again and said, well, okay, we're going to do a new record, and we want to use the same Berserker character, the main character on the first album cover. Can you do that? And he said, yeah, of course I can, I made the first one, I can do it again. So, and then it was kind of, I talked a little bit about it. I had that vision about, that Berserker standing on, I don't know, a pile of corpses or ruins, with in a victorious pose, and then behind him the chaos must be visible, and around him, and that he's standing with his axe in the air. That means he reigns, and his army is bringing the chaos around him. So, and actually, Adi came with the first sketch, and it was right away, okay, from there we go on. And I'm very happy with the artwork because it's...
Oh, yeah. I like the colors, and in fact, it reminds me a little bit of Bolt Thrower, if I can say.
Yeah, I hear that more. But that's no problem, because they were kings of death metal.
Yeah,
you can't be like Bolt Thrower.
Absolutely. Have you found a name for this guy, or do you just call him Berserker?
You're the second one asking me that. It's still just a Berserker, but another guy already told me that, hey, maybe you should give him a name.
So come on, yes.
Thinking about it. But to be honest, I have no idea if we do a third album, if we would do it again, but somehow maybe now we should. Maybe now, because we did the second album with the same character, we have to do it forever. Maybe, I don't know.
So wait a minute. You said that you don't know if you will use the same character for the third album, or you don't know if there will be a third album.
You never know both, of course.
Okay. Just making sure.
To be honest, at this moment, with all the stress and the work I had on this album, because I really had a lot of stress to make it all happen, and to get it all done. So a third album for me is far away. I now want to enjoy this moment,
Oh, of course, absolutely.
But if there comes, if a third album will come and what artwork it will have, I have no idea. It would be
That's fine.
fun if we do a third one. We should use the same Berserker, I guess.
As long as there is the music is there, I mean, the cover artwork will come. I mean, come on.
Always, always, always.
You have From the Darkness Inside as a bonus, if I'm correct, in the CD version.
Yes.
Was there a specific reason, or just for the time duration that the vinyl allow you to have?
Yes, yes, and yes. Of course, you know, you can put more music on a vinyl, but it will contain costs from the quality, you know.
Yes.
And the label, of course, besides being a lover of music, they also wants to have business, you know. They need to earn money. So they always like it. I also see it with ASPHYX releases, you know, the normal CDs and the media books, which have some extra material. It's sales wise, you know, that the CD has one more song. It makes it different from the LP.
Correct. However, it's kind of a difficult decision to say, okay, I have now 12 songs, let's cut one, or 11 songs, let's cut one.
It is. But because I wrote 6 songs for the album and Thomas 5, From the Darkness Inside is one of my songs.
Oh, come on.
So then I was thinking, okay, then we cut one of my songs, and then it's 5 on 5 on the LP and 6 on 5 on the CD. Besides that, that song has a funny story. From the Darkness Inside, I wrote it a few years ago already. And I didn't think it was that powerful. So I said to the guys, I'm not going to record that song. Because I think I think my other songs I wrote are more powerful. And then Johnny told me, man, are you crazy? That song is really powerful. And so we discussed it a bit. I said, well, okay, you know, I go to the studio anyway, so okay, I will record it, and then we always can see later what we will do with it, you know. But then Johnny came with his vocals on that song, and for me, that song became a total new song for me. And suddenly, because of his vocals on my song, made that song very powerful, and I was really happy. I'm really happy with that song now, but I really didn't want to record that one. So the guys convinced me to record it.
Oh, man. I mean, after all, the voice is also a music instrument. So by adding a couple of vocal growls in this case, and the way he's not growling all the way in the same way. So he has different styles. So it adds to the song, to the power of the song.
Absolutely. I think that's a really I don't know the English word, but that's really what Berserker Legion is representing. The music is very dynamic, but the vocals as well.
Yes, absolutely. You mentioned in the beginning playing live. So what are your thoughts about that? Or your plans?
Actually, we did one live show in 2020. But that was like 2 weeks before Europe closed their borders for the COVID pandemic. So sadly enough, we never have been able to promote our first album really good live. But that one show we did, it was, you know, I'm playing the band myself, but even I was a fan of myself. It sounded so massive and so cool to play those songs live. And of course, this year is almost over. We have all our obligations to our main band. You know, I play in ASPHYX. Thomas has Hypocrisy. Frederick is pretty busy with Dark Funeral. James is doing a lot.
A lot of bands.
Yeah, and at this moment, a lot with Decapitated and also with Belphegor. So, it's not easy for us to book a show with Berserker Legion, but it's also not impossible if you plan it right. And we do have the urge to play this live, so we do want to at least have a few shows, maybe on festivals that you have a big audience in one time, you know. So Yes, we do want to play live, but we have to plan it very carefully, and then I think a lot is possible.
Or you can have a festival of your own, with everyone brings to bring their own band.
Yeah. That would be an option. Yeah, all bands there.
So with that in mind, that you have other bands, as you said, main bands, how do you consider Berserker Legion as a project or as a full-time band?
Yeah, I always have seen it as a full-time band from the moment Thomas and I started to decide, hey, we have to bring this further as a band, you know, in 2016, and yeah, maybe a bit later. But you know, at the moment when we asked James, Johnny, and Frederick to join us, that was actually the day that we became a real band. And I see it as a band, but simply not a band. What can be that active? Because we all have, we all have our main bands, and of course they have first priority, which is because they were there before us. So, but you know, a project is a band too, but only maybe not playing live. I don't know. It's hard to say. I see it as a band. We are a band. We are a legion.
Yes,
we are not a project. We are not a band. We are a legion.
That's even better. Last question, Alwin. Anything that you would like to share from ASPHYX side of things?
Yeah, well, we had, of course, after the release of Necrosaurus, we had some great times, of course. Well, it was not all good because also Necrosaurus came out in the middle of the pandemic. So yeah, so it took us more than a year before we could play those songs live, and I still enjoy them to play. It's I'm very proud of the last record. You know, the guys all were, yeah, I think we all did a great job, and the album came out really good in the world, I think. We still play a lot live.
Okay.
You know, in the weekends, I also have still a job during the week, so I'm a technical engineer, and in the weekends I play my hobby because I still see it as a hobby. And recently we started to talk about, hey, it's about time to start writing new songs, you know, and start working on a new album. And it will not be that the album will be there in a half year, because ASPHYX is an easygoing band, you know. No one stresses us up. We do it our own way. And but I think between now and 2 years there will be a new records. And
okay.
At least I don't promise anything. You never know, but I expect that. We talked about working on new material, and we will start soon.
And before I let you go, do you have there is a Berserker Legion video coming soon out, right?
Yeah. We already have the lyrical video. It was out a month ago.
Correct.
And yeah, we were a bit late with the video, so it will come out 1 week after the release. I think it will come out next week, the 2nd of November. Yes.
So there will not be a third one, right? That's it. The lyric video and the. Are you planning to release a third one or not?
Oh no.
Okay.
No. It's because even you know, and then you notice that it's not always easy to get all guys together, you know, because I was planning a weekend where we all were free, and then I came out 4 months later.
I can feel your stress about that. So
yeah.
Please enjoy your weekend. The album is out. The album is amazing. And I don't know, man, I hope we'll see Berserker Legion here in Chicago live.
That would be awesome. And keep your eye on the video, because even that gave a lot of stress, but I think the end result became really good.
I'm sure.
It's the title track of the album. That's the video, Kaoz Will Reign.
Awesome. Thank you very much again, Alwin. Have a great
Thank you too for your time and talking. And I wish everybody in Chicago and the area the best of luck. And I hope you all will enjoy our new record, Kaoz Will Reign.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Hey, stay brutal. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.